From the Bolivian model who slips and falls on her buttocks while trying to shoot at the goal during a TV game, to the actress who gets tangled up trying on lingerie that is too complicated to put on. Here are some unusual and funny situations taken from TV shows. Sarah Cott is a young Australian journalist who had to do a report on snakes for a local TV station. She had to go to a wildlife park where there is a room full of snakes locked in terrariums. In her view, snakes are benign, timid beings, less dangerous than we think, and more afraid of humans than this. This insight she brings to the question of snake safety in Australia may be questionable. Admittedly, there are very few deaths that occur each year after a snake bite in Australia. However, thousands of people are bitten each year, and of these, several hundred require hospital treatment and the administration of an antidote. But instead of examining this issue, let's enjoy the comical irony of the scene. It tells the story, and in an unfamiliar situation, it was decided that a python would be placed on the reporter's right shoulder to reinforce her reassuring speech and to make these reptiles more sympathetic. While she is speaking, the python, which is not concerned with her image, suddenly bites the microphone's windscreen. Sarah becomes confused and pale. She does not dare to move or to speak, and she is especially afraid that the python will bite her with its hand. But she was reassured to see that the reptile did not repeat its attack, and she concluded her report with relief. However, the spectators realized that her serene words were not in harmony with her terror and her maturation. Next time, she will either take fewer risks or play her part fully. Lena Alouch is a Moroccan news presenter for the Mead 1 channel. She is a very serious lady, very appreciated and very professional. One day, she decided to take her daughter with her to work. The presentation is to be live, and Lena's daughter, who is 5 or 6 years old, is playing around backstage, thinking that her mother is not yet on the air. She shows up behind her shoulder, phone in hand. This unusual disturbance does not disturb the experienced journalist who keeps her composure. Her only reaction is a slight raise of her eyebrows. What is certain is that she will expressly advise her daughter not to enter the set next time, or she will not bring her there again. In an American program presented by Steve Burton, viewers witnessed an unusual and funny scene. The topic of the day was alligators on the TV set. Steve is accompanied by a couple of herpetologists, that is to say, specialists in the study of amphibians and reptiles. Steve Burton has a delicate mission to look good on television, surrounded by baby alligators. We see him slightly embarrassed when he holds them in his hands, a little trembling in front of the specialists. His nervousness increases when he has to hand over the reptile to the specialist in a green uniform. The alligator suddenly starts to struggle with fury. It twists in all directions, and the journalist, terrified, tries to painfully immobilize it. Moreover, he is irritated by the useless advice of his guest, who repeats to him to hold the alligator well. Everything is finally arranged when the woman takes hold of the recalcitrant young reptile. Steve Burton is relieved. In truth, he felt far more fright than he testified. He said later that he thought he saw his whole life flash by as he grappled with the baby alligator. This must be a comical exaggeration because, given the size of this small animal, it's hard to imagine it doing deadly damage while reporting on a U.S. network based in Los Angeles. Reporter Mary Beth McDade experienced a very awkward situation, albeit a short one. She looked around while waiting for the filming to begin. Just then, a cockroach clung to her blue shirt. She does not delay to notice it. Immediately, the panic. The journalist screams, and the whole team mobilizes to chase the insect away. Disgusting. A technician, more eager than the others, is about to dislodge it, but he holds back at the last moment when he sees the location of the parasite. Finally, the lady comes to the end of it. She crushes it, then gathers herself while laughing, the cheeks in purple, ashamed and amused. She is ready for the story. Holly Willoughby is an English presenter and model. She hosts various entertainment shows and is a fairly well-known personality on British television. One day, when she was supposed to take part in an entertainment program, she decided to commit a little innocent and funny extravagance to increase the ratings. She was to ride an electric train the size of a merry-go-round and ride around the set with a teddy bear between her legs. However, the ride goes awry. Halfway through, the green car derails, and the reporter and the bear fall over. It couldn't be more ridiculous. The idea of the train was quite ridiculous, not to mention the fall. Anyway, everyone laughs about it. Holly didn't get hurt, and the footage was very entertaining to viewers. This time, we are going to talk about a Bolivian entertainment show. In Latin America, the entertainment world is not at war with stereotypes. A decent TV show should preferably include women in short outfits and a soccer ball. At least that's the setting for this show. Each model has to score a goal in the small net at the end of the green carpeted set. It's a competition. It must be said that the high heel is not very convenient for the exercise, but who cares? So it is the turn of the beautiful model to squeeze into her blue dress. She concentrates, gets ready to shoot, but kicking a ball, she slips and falls on her butt. Everyone rushes to help her. It is a useless care because the fall is not painful. At least she managed to score her goal. Ben Shepherd is an English journalist under contract with the British television channel HTV. He is a host, presenter, actor, singer, comedian, and athlete. In 2016, he participated in a triathlon tournament, and at the end of this tough event, he appeared on the show Good Morning Brighton with two journalists. One of them is holding the microphone. It is Kate Garraway. The two women tease the journalist a little, who takes it with a smile. The goal of the program is simple: to congratulate Ben Shepherd on his performance and to invite him to undergo cryotherapy for muscle recovery. The three of them stand in front of a tub filled with cold water. It's time to immerse yourself. Ben Shepherd slips into the water to the applause of the audience. Kate asks him for his impressions, and after answering, he suddenly pulls her towards him in the cold water. She is half immersed. Like him, all the people present laugh out loud. Of course, this joke can be very bad and rightly offend female sensibilities, but that's not the point. Furthermore, Ben and Kate are very close friends, and Kate did not find the joke offensive. The confinement that has been instituted in almost every country in the world in recent years has been very detrimental to married couples. Several articles have documented the subject and have shown that domestic violence has increased, as well as divorce. This serious topic was discussed on the British program The Graham Norton Show. Among the guests was an English actress, Sarah Pascoe. She said that she had married shortly before the confinement and was afraid that the early and permanent promiscuity would eventually make them tired of each other. She therefore used means of seduction that she was willing to communicate to the public. It is about some lingerie furnished with laces, but not any lingerie so refined and so complicated that they are in metal. Sarah shows off this incomparable product that has the comical idea of showing how inconvenient the underwear is. Under the laughter of the audience, we see her trying to put on the lingerie with difficulty. She doesn't even know where to insert her arms and legs. She pulls the underwear on all sides and almost loses her balance several times. It is an incredible tangle. She originally wanted to pleasantly surprise her spouse, but seeing the trouble his wife was taking, he ended up helping her. Certainly, this lingerie is tiring to adjust to and does not promise sensuality at first. An American journalist presents live a news on the channel KY3, affiliated to NBC. It evokes a news item which occurred a few hours earlier. It is about a robbery. The criminal, after his robbery, had fled and the police were hunting him down. The journalist follows the news at all times, and he learns in his earpiece that the police have drawn and published a sketch of the wanted individual. What does the criminal look like? You'll find out as the reporter does. This is the sketch that appears on the screen. It looks like a child's drawing in every respect. The journalist is completely baffled. In any case, he does not find it funny. Is he the victim of a joke or of a gross technical error? We don't know, but can we say for sure? It is that this portrait will not help anyone. These images do not really serve to illustrate what is a courteous debate and a respectful exchange in contradiction. This is a political face-off broadcast by the Arab channel 7 Stars. The presenter and the two opponents are very nervous. The tension is palpable on the set, and the two opponents speak with a dry and imperious tone of voice. One can clearly feel the anger in their faces. The host between them wants to quell any outbursts, but it's an awkward task. The more the conversation advances, the more the disagreements multiply. The two can't stand it. The more they jump up and down and, in a simultaneous movement, they energetically lift and shake the oval table, which they end up tearing off. The presenter is panic-stricken, where the quarrel becomes comical, and where these serious men seem to be 8 or 9 years old, and when each one starts to push the other with all his strength by the means of the uprooted table. The presenter, powerless, does not have any more the force to interpose, and leaves the wrestlers delivered to their reciprocal hate. And it was necessary that the technical team intervene to separate the two belligerents who had come to the kicks. The presenter can breathe. One can imagine that the careers of these two men, who seem to occupy respectable dignitary positions, have been irreparably damaged since this fight. Yannick Garcia, the world's hottest weather girl, is the talk of the town. She has been enjoying an ever-increasing fame since she was a model, and she is currently 31 years old. In her young age, she was a model. Her beauty brought her to the attention of television directors who offered her the opportunity to be a weather girl. She didn't have the skills, and in her modesty, she realizes that. She hesitated for a good long time, but finally accepted. She makes a good impression when presenting the weather forecast with her colorful dresses that highlight her grace to perfection. It goes without saying that in the eyes of the audience, the temperature estimates take a back seat when she stands in front of the camera. She captivates and bewitches the audience. Since this new exercise, her reputation has grown and she has become one of the most attractive figures in the world of television, now a millionaire. The success had smiled so much that she was able to diversify her activities by trying her hand at cinema and health coaching. Advertising contracts rained down on her head. Today, she has more than 14 million followers on Instagram, where she dazzles internet users with her charm and beauty. Thus ends our video, where you could see some unusual and funny sequences extracted from TV shows. We hope you enjoyed them. Don't forget, as always, to tell us your opinion in the comments section. Among all these scenes, which one amused you the most or inspired you the most discomfort?